guess I put it in the desktop itself. Yeah. So BIMX file is a standalone file here, which you can share it through any of the social messaging applications or mail, any platform. You also have an option to publish it directly to your cloud as well, where you can send it as a link. All the options are there. So this is the standalone one which I have exported right now. So when I open it, you are going to see with whatever the last preview was there. So like I mentioned, give the architects credits and also a project review so that when you open the file, it looks good. And you can see that there are three 3D views here, which we exported, and drawings that are placed here. And how do we navigate around BIMX? So this particular left side on phone also you will see the same. Will give you the index of or the whole element itself. So let me open the 3D, that is all elements. So I can do a double click. When I do a double click, it is going to open the 3D view, just like what we saw in the ARCHICAD. So it's going to be something like this, where you have the site and then you have all the elements here. And you can also see there are a couple of furnitures that we placed it during. And one of the major thing about BIMX is that it comes with the information, whatever I have exported. For example, I have a column here. So I can select the column, do a right click and go to this option called element info. So what it does is it gives you all the classification information. This is a column. The ID is CRE006. It's a load-bearing element. It's placed exterior. It's a new structure. And whatever information I have not given, it is empty. But other than that, if I have given any additional information, you will be able to get those information directly there. Be it this curtain wall. So you will see the curtain wall here and go to element info, it will give you the information of that. So just imagine you're on site or you're with a client and they asked you what is this product and what are the information regarding that. You don't need to ask somebody again or open your ARCHICAD or any software model. You can just have the BIMX in your hand and visualize the same. And also you are seeing certain blue dots across. These are one of the interesting thing in ARCHICAD. These are actually drawings that are connected. So for example, I just go a little bit towards this side. So I'm using the arrow marks on the keyboard because I'm working on a system. And you can see I have all these elements here. And you can see there is a plan here. So this is a horizontal element. When I click on it, it gives you, it tells you that there are some drawings that have been taken at this location. There are two drawings here. One is the level -1 architectural drawing. Other one is structural drawing. I do open in 2D. What it is going to do is it will open directly to that particular drawing. So this is the reason why we exported 3D from the view map and all the 2D from the sheets itself, the layouts. So it is all interconnected that way. Now I want to see this particular X3 section. So click on X3. You can see where it is placed. I have it placed on presentation sheet. I also have it placed on section. So I wanted to see directly the section. I do open in 2D. It will take me directly to that section and show you what it is. So make sure you try this, make the 3D model, make sure your layouts are done, connect everything into a BIMX file and you explore it here. So whatever drawing is there, you can see all of them are exported into the BIMX and also 3D as well. So let me just go back to the 3D, that is the all element. Now I'll show you one additional things that is there. So when I open it, you can see like this. This is actually a cut element where I can see the sheet and the cut plane. So I can do a right click and remove the drawings. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong element. Let me get back to 3D again. Yeah, so I can click on it, do a right click and do close layout. Now what I'll see is I'll see something like this, the cut plane. Now that cut plane is movable. So you can just click and move it out. Now it becomes easy, right? When you are going to explain it to somebody how this project is going to be. Now you can easily showcase the inner part by making cut. You can also walk inside the model. That option is there, but this is something that you can do it as well. So if you want to remove it, just turn off the cut plane. Now, additionally, you also get to switch between the 3Ds. So here I have all elements. So if I go for structural, it will take you directly to that structural 3D what we created. And now let's say I want to focus on the 3D detail that I created. So all I do is I click on this and go to the detail 3D. Now that particular 3D is going to be opened. So the whole point here is you can export whatever is being done in ARCHICAD, all the 2Ds and 3Ds into this file format called BIMX. And BIMX can be used anywhere and it is completely free. If somebody is there on the site, you can teach them how to do it. You can teach your clients, you can teach your masons or whoever is on the site, and they are going to get to see the 3D on their phone or device. So there is less amount of information missing. So what happens usually is we give them the drawing, and the drawing might not give all the information necessary. So that is where this comes into picture, where you're giving the required information and it is going to read that information. They will also be able to understand easily because 3D is the easiest language to understand. So that's about the BIMX. So this is the process that you have to go through. We start with project map where you create the model. Then we go to the view map where you create multiples of the same. When you finally go to the layout book and create the sheets. So this is the order of creating the documentation. Now finally to publish it, you create publisher set, multiple publisher set. If I just want to export one of this drawing, just open the drawing and you can go to file, save as PDF. That would do the job. But I would always suggest use the publishing option so that always all these things are updated. And also remember, ARCHICAD has this option of when I select a drawing, whether you can give it for auto update or manual update. So you may also see sometimes that when ARCHICAD you open, it might take some time to load, or when you publish something, it might take some time to load. That is because it is always on auto update. Sometimes we don't want to update, see the update, and you don't want all of them to run in the background and trouble you. So what you can do is you can select and change it to manual update. But remember, if you do any manual update, you have to make sure you go back there and update the drawing. You can also update the drawing by just right clicking here, and if you want to click on update, it will update all of them together. So that is going to be step by step. It will consume some time to update all the drawings, but this is one of the way. Either you go for auto update if your system is pretty good. If it is not, go for manual update, but make sure you update them correctly. You can also do a right click here and go for book settings and then do a lot of detailing here as well. There is also here in the document, if you go to layout book, there are a couple of settings that you can do it from the layout book also, and we will not be looking into this, but one of the important thing is to make sure that your drawings are always updated. So that is very important. So let me just go back here, document, something selected. Yeah. And yeah, so those are the things. So the same update button is here as well. So before exporting the file, just update it once, or publishing file, just update it once. By any chance, if it is not updated properly, it will be difficult for you. You also have something called project indexes where you can do a lot of managing. One of them is the drawing list itself. So if I open it, you will see all the list of layouts that has been created, all the drawings, I would say, where each of the sheet index, what are the names and what it is connected to. You get all the options here as well. So this is where you can manage all the sheets and drawings by having a look at it. And when it is created or when it is last updated, all this information also you can manage. So architecture is overall having all the information directly there. You just have to explore it in the right way. So that was about creating drawings and publisher set. BIMX also we looked at. Now, anybody has any doubt? All right, so thank you. So finally, we are looking at the federated model part. So this is kind of interesting and something that is really relevant when it comes to models that needs to be replicated and also connected in some other way. So one of the case that we are going to showcase is, let's say you have one model and it's like a housing project where you have to duplicate the same model across. But the requirement is when you change one of them, rest of them needs to be changed. This is one of the case. Other case would be when you're working on a vertical project where you have like an apartment where you have a typical floor, and when you change one of the floor, the other floors also need to change. So that is where this comes into picture. So we use a concept called hot link for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not work on this one directly, but I'm going to open a new ARCHICAD project altogether. And in that project, I'm going to bring in the reference houses. So let me just delete it. Now I don't want to use this site. I just want to have the 3D model. So select this and delete. And I'm going to just save the file. And parallelly, the new ARCHICAD instance is opening. So let me click on new. So what I'm going to do is we have this as a source project. So ideally what I do is I have to make sure in the second project I have the site model done or whatever context is done because those are changing and varying. But this particular house typology might be consistent across. If something is going to be changed across your design, make sure they are not modeled it here because whatever you model in the source file, like for example this one, is going to be replicated there as well. So do it that wisely. And let me open it, new project. Make sure your project levels are matching and all these things. What I'm going to do is I'll just have only one project layer here, remove the rest of the elements. So let it load. All right, so the new project is ready. So we will consider this as the first project, and we will go to the story settings by pressing Ctrl+7. And let me just remove this, not necessary, but for now I'm just going for value. I'll just give this 2500 and delete it. Now I need to bring it in here. So let me just sketch it first. So how this works is you have a host file into which you are going to bring the source file. And this source file is usually called hotlink. Now, this can be many different project files also. So there is an option. You can also have the hotlink in the same project as well. But this one requires a lot of control and a lot of management. And you should be very careful about when you're doing. But for this particular training session, we are going for the method where the source files are different. You can have multiple ones also. We are going to bring it into this particular file, place it, and probably move it around for the variations. Not exactly variations, but different placements. So what I'm going to do is I'll make sure I'm in the ground floor here and file, external content, place hotlink. Now it will ask me where the hotlink file is. So these are called modules. So I'll select the module from file and I will locate it to the project. So here, file session 4. Yeah. Select. Now that is added. Now it is asking me whether to import everything or just one floor. So we will go for all stories in this case. Give OK. Now that is added. When I click on it, it will add to the project. Next important things that you need to know is master layer. So with respect to hotlink concept, what happens is the whole file is placed into one master layer. So that is called model unit module. But also it will import the individual layers and place it into the new project as well. So you can hide an element by turning off the layer name itself. But if at any point you want to turn off the whole module, then you can turn off the master layer itself. So this is something that is being done for making our life easier. I'm not going to the rest of the details. There are options to adjust the height. You can also match the origin point and all these things by aligning the module. And I do a place hotlink. When I click on that, it is going to place the hotlink here. You can see the levels are actually not matching because in the host file, we just have one layer. So ideally what happens is we should make sure they're all matching properly so you can easily place these elements. Now you can see we have already added something. And I guess they are added properly because the layer set is not done. Probably only that particular layer element is imported. So when I go to 3D and I do Control L, and you can see all these layers are right now turned off because they're all imported. So I'll give OK. You will see they're all added. The issue is only because I did not match the layer heights there. So only whatever is connected to that particular layer will be here. So I think, yeah, that's okay. But I hope you understood the concept. Make sure the layers are matching, like you mentioned, the levels. The same naming would be ideal, but if you have different types, then you can work accordingly. So host project, make sure you have the matching ones and then add it. One of the method that we usually follow when it comes to the hotlink is that we use it for the typical floor and then replicate across. But yeah, so these are some of the method. Now let's say I made a copy. So you can move around and copy, but you cannot change the scale. You can only move it and rotate. And now if I go back to the source file here, and this is the level that I imported. So let's say I'm going to change this somewhere here. Then I do save project. I make sure that file is saved. Then I go to the host project. Then I can click on it and right click and do an update. So there is this option called hotlink module and update. When I do the update, whatever this change has been done in the source file, it is going to be updated. So you can see there is already, it's already giving me a warning that the stories are not matching. But yeah, it's okay for now. You can see already whatever was there in the source file is being updated. So whenever you work with a project like this, when something is like an apartment scale or something like that, you go for this particular method. So what you do is you manage your sources, multiple files you can have it, be it a Revit file, be it an ILC file, be it a Rhino file. You use it through Hotlink. You do not do any changes to this one. So you can suspend group and you can access them, get the information, but you cannot change it because this comes like a fixed element. Only you can do is you can move around, you can rotate, and then you can elevate, move it up and down also. But you cannot do that particular work of changing the scale. So I hope that part is clear. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending the session, and we will be officially closing the session for this. Thank you. Have a good day.